What's going down? Welcome to the Blackout Podcast. My name's ODM. You already know. Your daddy's favorite rapper, your mama's favorite DJ. Welcome to the platform side of me. Who is it?
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Money Moons, a.k.a. Dinero Luna. Another day on the Blackout. Trying to stay dry from this wet-ass weather.
Man, that's what I'm talking about, bro. It's like night and day, hit or miss over here. Who we got to be over there hitting the switches, homie?
You know what it is. It's your homie, your boy, your favorite Tortanator.
Tortanator.
Let's go. It's pretty cool. I like it. I like today's setup. It's cool.
Yeah, bro. You know what? We haven't been here in a minute. I mean, we've been over at Bubba's Tacos. Shout outs to Bubba's Tacos. That's where we do our thing, and, you know, we let loose. You know, guests come. They want to smoke. They can smoke here. A little bit more conservative, but it is what it is. It's working for today. I will say this, not that it matters, but just so you'll know, if you're in the chat right now, this isn't live, so I'm just going to put that out there. You know, a lot of people, but, you know, we had to make it do what we do, because if you're watching this is after our Monday episode with Jesus, the comedian. Yep. We got banned from fucking YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got a week suspension. We got put on timeout. The homie decided to... well, before I get into it, hold on, man. Let's welcome our guests. I don't want to be rude, man. We got BOZO in the motherfucking house.
Salute.
Bam, homie. Yes, BOZO,
sir.
Welcome to the platform. Salute, my G.
Salute, carnal. Appreciate it.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
And your homies over here.
Homie Bam Bam.
What's up, Bam Bam?
The homie from the set.
And like I was saying, bro, we got banned on YouTube. I decided, you know, to fill content because, you know, as a YouTube channel, hey, man, I'm not just going to stop at one day at a podcast. You want to stay consistent with it. So, you know, I decided to go live, play some jams for the homies, right? Yeah. Like I was, you know, I was going on, man. I was playing music, DJing, you know, fucking with the viewers. What you want to hear? Boom, boom, boom. Well, the thing about it is YouTube don't like, you know, they copyright, you know, they don't like you playing copywritten shit.
Okay.
And I got one too many warnings. Homie, I was 2.5 hours in already, and I was like, shit. I was feeling like, damn, they ain't cut me off yet. Yeah. And right when I went from old school to get into some oldies, like my wife comes running at 8, and you know, you're off. I was like, what are you talking about? Sure enough, long story short, the next day, I got a strike. And that strike means 1 week off the platform. So that's why you didn't see any lives last Monday. And apologize, guys, to the viewers. But again, I'm just trying to give you content, keep it going. And I've actually moved over to Twitch. So check me out on Twitch. That's the real ODM _. And there's where you can see me throw down with the oldies and all that other stuff and bring that, you know, just that good vibes there.
What'd you say? Funkin' flavors.
Yeah, those motherfucking flavors.
Hey,
man,
fucking homie be getting down. I seen him with the different scenes, like in the lowrider and shit.
Hey,
oh,
homie,
damn, this fool be fucking killing it right now. You got to,
bro. The Twitch world is a new world, bro. Like, I don't know if you fuck with Twitch, BOZO, at all.
Yeah, but I haven't tapped in yet, but yeah, I'm on it.
You know, it's crazy. It's like it's a whole different, like, you know, these platforms are different. Everybody loves to be residents to where they're at. Some people don't like to jump platforms. As you probably know with music, like YouTube, obviously, that's where your music lies.
Bread and butter, yeah.
But it's like when you go to Twitch, I mean, I've seen DJs that I've known for years. I've seen and it's just all warm welcoming. So shout outs to everybody on there. DJ Yums, Angie V. We had her on the podcast. Remark, the whole Scam Artist crew, DJ Heaven, and so on and so forth. But anyway, so I'm over there pushing forward now, man. We're back in effect, and that's the reason why we're here. BOZO, man, it's an honor to have you on the platform, my brother. You've done so many fucking podcasts, bro. It's crazy. I'm like, what the hell else is there left to ask you, dog? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I mean, I don't want to start with basic questions because we're not a basic platform. Obviously, I did my research. I know where you're from. Shout outs, you know, straight out of Pico, you know what I'm saying? LA, Pico Nuevo. What I will jump into though is I had a homie, and I don't know if you bumped their shit because I don't remember you saying any of their music, but Street Mentality. Does that name ring a bell?
That was on Pico, the town I live in.
Off the 605.
Yeah, we grew up off that shit. Yeah, when they came out, I was still not affiliated, you know what I mean? I was a kid, so I was able to enjoy it, you know what I'm saying? But once the gang affiliation came in, it was like, we ain't bumping that shit because they were affiliated to the other side. You feel what I'm saying?
So okay, I grew up. Well, you know, I came up with Slow Pain, right? Rest in peace, right? And I think Slow Pain was from Old Town?
Old side, yeah.
Okay, so there's two different rivals, right?
Yeah, that's Rivalhood, yeah.
Okay, Rival. But then Lil Vern, rest in peace, was part of that group. I think he was part of the Pico Nuevo.
He was no. He wasn't from my hood. He was affiliated, like, how should I say it, man? He was affiliated to the other side. So we're the middle, and then it's Rivera, and then it's Viejo. So he was affiliated to the Rivera side.
Oh, Pico Viejo.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? I just heard the names tossed around back in the day, and I was like, okay, but it was all Pico Love. And that's all that Slow Pain talked about. You know, rapped about. Shout outs to him. Shout outs to Bandit as well. And the reason why I say that is because they were actually part of our management team at the time when Lighter Shade Brown came out. Immediately, you know, Slow and Street Mentality came out as well. So it was a good time for hip hop.
Yeah, it was a good album. It was a good little album. I remember the cover and everything. They were in the riverbed.
And that's right. They had the 8 pounds in the attic and all that. And then I remember performing in Pico, one specific show, I want to say it was an outdoor park, an outdoor venue.
Yeah, you guys put up to my hood, to Smith Park.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if you remember. Yeah, they came. You guys performed in Smith Park.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And that was the first, and, you know, I think last time, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys are watching it, you know, we performed it, but that shit was loud, you know, the crowd was hype. I mean, you know, those were our days anyway, man. But that I just wanted to share that memory first and foremost.
Those days fueled what we're doing right now.
That's what's up.
To be honest with you, like I remember I was always a fan of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to think that I always had a good ear for it. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, do you remember Norwalk's Most Wanted?
Sure.
Yeah, we used to bang their shit in the hood tough.
Yeah.
That was our shit. So when you guys came out, it was like you guys. I remember it was the Neighborhood Queen, JV, and it was I want to say Mellow Man Ace.
Right.
Was banging at the time.
Padrino, yep.
Cypress Hill was after, right?
Well, us and Cypress, it's been an ongoing conversation, bro. Like us and Cypress are like literally like 8 months apart.
Yeah, you guys are the same year, huh?
Yeah, it was that. But I remember though, like I remember the movement that you guys had. Like even though I don't know if you guys planned it or not, but I remember the brown faces coming into hip hop, and it wasn't like Chicano rap. It was hip hop. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you guys were hip hop. The swagger.
I'm glad you said that because you know a lot of people get misconstrued with that because they immediately think.
I think. Well, listen, people are probably gonna get mad at me when I say it, but I think Chicano rap killed your guys' movement. You feel what I'm saying? I think Chicano rap put a black eye on what you guys were doing because what you guys were doing was on point with hip hop. Like it was crossing borders, different races and ethnic groups and whatever. And I think that the heavy cholo shit killed the momentum you guys had, man. Like it's almost like we went back in time.
You know what's funny is not funny, but what's interesting is that at that time the 90s were so active as far as the gang, right?
No, yeah,
and that's why I think maybe a lot of the artists like embraced Chicano Mexican gangster rap.
Yeah, but to be honest with you though, like, and this I don't know, this is me speaking for myself, right? Like in LA, in the streets of LA, like we weren't bumping Chicano rap, we were bumping you guys.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? We're like the difference in the sounds. You understand what I'm saying? Like like, you know, here and there Chicano rap, but as far as like house parties, you know what I'm saying? And barbecues, it was you guys. You feel what I'm saying? Like it was all you guys, Proper Dose, you know what I mean? It was who else? Shit, but Psycho Rum was way after.
Would you guys, say that because our sound was on the radio, so to speak, and that's what you gravitated towards?
I don't want to say that. I just want to say it was just good music.
Appreciate it.
It didn't have nothing to do with the radio or like who was delivering it. Like it was just, you know, you had to respect it.
Prior to when you first heard the wave that started, we call it the wave, where we started, you know, in the early 90s, late 80s.
Funk Dubious.
Who else were you bumping?
Before that, Brand Nubian. I was bumping Tribe Called Quest. I was bumping Onyx. I was bumping the Fushnikins. I was bumping
De La,
of course, Mandatory. De La Soul.
Shout. Rest in peace,
Heavy D and the Boys.
Yes.
Shit, man. All
so
hip-hop.
we grew up in that same era together, brother. I mean, we're probably a few years apart. But I hear you though. Like I mean, I walked down the street, bro, rapping Slick Rick. I heard you.
Most definitely.
I heard that was one of the your like prime songs of all time. I mean, mine was like Lottie Dottie. I think yours was Children's Story, right? Yep. And when I walked to school, that's what I was manifesting was that. And LL Cool J, I heard you mention that's one of your favorites too. And that's why I know that we get each other in terms of where hip hop was, and not just Latino, but that hip hop is the umbrella.
Yeah, most definitely.
And underneath is all the cultures, all the different races. That's the race.
Yes.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
No, I agree. Most definitely. Yeah, I think that like the different genres are just different translations of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like a Bible, you know, a Bible can be translated 1,000 different ways, every scripture. That's how hip hop is. I see it, you know?
Absolutely. So when you mentioned Brand Nubians, when you mentioned De La, or, you know, these groups, I was going, okay. I mean, it was to the point where the black movement was strong in hip hop.
Hell yeah.
Those were the...
you had X-Clan, you had Sister Soldier.
Yes,
Come on, like we were bumping that shit in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like we had
I got to explain it to this guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's facts, bro. And the thing is I think that's why...
The Cholos were bumping that shit.
Facts.
The gangbangers were bumping that shit.
And you can't deny that at that time. Because there was obviously that's what was cracking at the time. But then when the Mexicans, so to speak, who grew up on that, well, shit, fuck, I could do that too. Yeah. That was my mentality. Let me try it. Shit, I grew up in a circle, bro. I remember going to Car Intermediate in Santana, and the homie Rashawn, Greg Kimball, and Box. 3 black fools, man. Those were my homies right there, though. But I remember I just saw them rapping, bro. And, just like a curious kid, like I'm sure you were. Can I do this? I would see them, and I was already listening to LL and on the Rock. No, this was before Rakim, but LL and them, Rakim had just came into play, and I said, look, man. What's up? How can I be down? It was like Bismarcky and the Vapors, you know. Can I be down? They treated me like a wet food stamp. But they were like, you remember the line? But they were like, look, go home and write a rap, come back and then let's see what you about. Bet. So I went home, wrote that shit, bro. 8th grade, I remember on the lunch benches, and I just spit that shit. And then they were like, all right, man, you down, Next thing you know, I was rocking fucking junior high school high school dances and shit with them. But it was no race thing. It was hip hop.
No, well, that's we didn't. I don't think that nobody had polluted it with that mentality yet. You feel what I'm saying? Like that separation didn't come until people started to see that it was having that effect on other races.
Right.
But like you said, like to me, my moment was when I heard you guys. Like my moment, like I was a fan until I heard you guys. At that point, then I became like a student. You know what I'm saying?
Did that give you? Because I hear this from our different supporters. I call them fans, supporters, and they say, you know what, bro? When I was already bumping hip hop, but when you guys dropped, like that, let me know. That made me feel proud to say, this is one of mine. Oh fuck, it's on. Like,
well, it started something. When we heard you guys. For me personally, like as a kid, I think I was like probably like 7 or 8 years old when I heard you,
Right.
And I remember exactly the song. It was Latin Active, When I heard Latin Active, it was it was a huge like spark in my brain. Like it was a revelation, dog. That's what I was gonna do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how or when or because my life took such a drastic change after that.
Sure.
But at that moment, like I was like, fuck yeah. Like I'm a rap, dog.
Yeah.
Like one way or another, like it's going down.
Is that the point where you decided to pick up a pen or
no, I didn't because my life was just like it was different, dog, to say the least. Like I didn't have the luxury to dream a lot. You feel what I'm saying? Like we had to hustle, me and my mom hustled,
right.
to pay bills. Like that's all I knew was hard work, as a kid, So like I didn't know about hobbies or like passions. You know what I mean? To me, like life was about providing and getting to that next meal. You know what I'm saying? Like literally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand my parents are first generation here. So they were just trying to make the best out of any situation they had. So it was just work.
So the music came after.
The music came after, The music came after, like once my homeboy Stomper planted that seed in my brain because he linked up with High Power and Capone and them,
Okay.
So even at that point, like I didn't even think I was gonna live to do anything besides like gangbang and do life in prison or get killed. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit was that. It was just there was no hope in my life, dog. You feel what I'm saying? So the rap was like it was hope, like it brought it back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, rap music without being said, with being said, is that it talks to us, bro. Like it really does, and it's an influence on us. I've seen it to happen to some of my homies. You know what I'm saying? Some of my relatives that. Really
music saved my life.
Bro.
Music saved my life.
It could save your life, or it could also get you to do things you don't want. You know what I'm saying? Like send you away for a while, and it did. But
the way you guys presented yourself, it was just everything. Like the whole Cleveland Browns shit.
Yeah.
Like, wearing
Shout
brown all the time.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? It was like it was just everything. Like
you know what? That was concepted by our manager who was black, bro.
Is that right? That's dope.
Said like our whole album, and I can't give him enough props for that. I mean, Cliff Ritchie, bro. This is a dude that started Rodney O. He's the one that started. His brother Marquise from Two Live Crew. Like they're all from Riverside, bro. And this dude was from here. and he just had a vision. At first, he didn't want to fuck with us. He didn't want to put it on, but then he saw Frost making an impact. Then he saw Mellow Man Ace. He was like, fuck it, I'm going to run to the races and put together a group. And when he did that, he said, look, I'm fresh out of high school. I'm rapping Rakim lyrics and Big Daddy Kane. Yeah. And then the homie was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. All right. I need you to paint this picture. I need you to write a Will Smith, Summertime. So what do you mean?
That's dope.
And then I said, what do you mean? Well, just talk about, your gente, raza. You guys barbecue too on Sundays, right? Yeah, you guys, that's what he's talking about. Yeah. Write your visual. Yeah. Bam. And that's what we did Sunday afternoon. And
who produced the track?
That was Jammin' James, man. Shout out to DJ Jammin' James, bro. He produced
Latin
Active as well, bro.
Yeah, production was hard on that track.
There was 2 versions, huh?
There was 2 versions. So there was one without a hook, without Shiro singing on it, and it was just strictly instrumental.
Yeah.
And then later on, we went to go repackage the album because we had to redo it, and the label wanted to put a hook on it in order to go to radio because at that time, singing hooks were big, were huge. And so we put Shiro on it. Latin Active already had Shiro on it, but the original Latin Active you were talking about, Teardrop was on it, but originally it was another homie named Chulo. He was on our album Brown and Proud, and they took his part out, and then they put Teardrop on. They said we need a female, so Chulo brought his girlfriend in. That was Teardrop, and she made the second verse. They replayed it, did everything else, switched up the samples. So we had about 2 or 3 songs that were like changed up on that album. But going back to what I was saying, fuck, I just lost my train of thought. Those days, bro, that's the way it was,
Yeah, so, and the chicks were the brownies, right?
The brownies, we still do, man. Shout out to the brownies, bro. You know, we started that, bro. I wish we would have kept going with it merch-wise, but we didn't get into the merch until later,
Capitalize off of all that shit, man. But that's, that goes to show, like, how ahead of, like, how ahead of the game you guys were, dog. Like, as far as branding and all that shit, it's like...
Well, again, going back to the manager.
The manager.
That's my train of thought before I lost it. I mean, he just had the concept, the whole Brown and Proud thing,
but that's how important it is to have older heads around you.
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think that, look, man, I think that, like, there's a misconception of like, the bond between the youth and the older and the more mature people. You know what I'm saying? I think that people forget that. Well, not people. I want to say, like, the youth. The youth hasn't experienced it. They haven't gone through the trials and tribulations yet.
Right.
But every successful man was once a failure as a young man.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Like
some point or another.
Even for myself, you know what I'm saying? The younger me, the younger version of me had no idea the limits and the potential that I had. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And now I see you talking about it, man. We were talking off air a little bit, but I was watching some of your videos earlier this week, and you had mentioned that. You were like, one thing stuck in my head. You said something about some of these older heads. They're too worried about being what's in right now, what's trendy, and they're still stuck in is trying to be cool or doing all that. Instead, you should be passing down jewels. I think you said.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, we're supposed to be leading by example. You look, dog. The hierarchy isn't going to reach its full potential if we're trying to hang around with the youngsters. You feel what I'm saying? And fit in with them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you can vouch. Like, growing up, I knew that the older homies were what I wanted to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't my younger homies like my age that I wanted to emulate. You know what I'm saying? It was my older homies that set goals for me, like as far as manhood, you know what I'm saying? As far as possessions and wealth and achievements that they did, you know what I'm saying? I didn't look to the homies my age because I knew, like, it was the blind leading the blind. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I even at that age, I already knew, like, we're just gonna fuck each other off. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we don't have the experience. So I've always took pride in being a good little homie when I was. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope that you knew that when you were younger. Because most kids, like you said, don't get that
arrogance
mentality.
is a motherfucker for a youngster. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that, you gotta understand it. For me, right, in the hood, like, I had ultra confidence. So at some point, I bumped heads with an older homie.
Yeah.
And when
plus your presence, being 6'1", it's kind of intimidating.
Yeah. And when I caught a fade with my older homie, I understood my place.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can't fuck with a grown man, no matter what I think.
Yeah.
I mean, on a fair one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
was your dad, rest in peace? Did he ever school you in as far as that? Like,
my dad had a very challenged life. So my dad really didn't know how to communicate with me. Like, he was the oldest of 12, in Durango, and he was forced to provide for his for his family.
Right.
So my dad started shining shoes at the age of 5 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean? In bars and in local rodeos and shit like that. So with that came a lot of trauma and a lot of, you know, he was victimized. I'm sure. I don't want to really get into too much detail.
No, I get it.
I'm sure you can, you know, a child at that time in that environment.
Yeah.
Like, he went through a lot of shit. So my dad didn't really, you know.
So the one-on-one wasn't really there.
We never had it, man. Like we bonded in shit. Like Lucha Libre, we bonded in music, you know.
Sure.
Like we shared moments, but as far as him ever sitting down with me and telling me like, hey, mijo, like, you know, I love you, right? Like, I'm proud of you. Like,
so he did embrace the love for you then.
Yeah.
Because most fathers won't say that. Some are too prideful. They just because they don't know.
Yeah, he told me that, but he never really got into his life. You know, like he never told me too much.
Right.
Because I don't think that he was able to hear it himself. You know, it was one of the things where he closed the door behind him and didn't want to ever open it up again. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we didn't really get in too much depth. Like he just showed me what he knew and what he could and was love. You know what I'm saying?
But you learned a lot from him, obviously.
I learned my swagger is him.
Yeah.
You know, my music is him. Like I grew up, my mom didn't care how late I came inside the house as long as my dad and his compadre were on the porch singing music. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And it was rancheras all night. You feel what I'm saying?
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So while my dad did his shit drinking, I ran around with my primos till 2, 3 in the morning, you know?
Now, you have 2 older sisters, right?
Yeah, I have 2 older sisters.
So where are they around at this point? Are they doing their own thing?
They're already smoking weed and trying to go out with cholos.
Are you looking out up to them?
Well,
like
yeah, I'm looking. Well, they...
As an influence.
Yeah, well, my older sisters were my first love, you know what I'm saying, as far as females, you know, like they were the first women that I can honestly say in my heart that I fell in love with, you know what I'm saying, even though they were my sisters, but I just thought they were the most beautiful thing on earth, you feel what I'm saying? My sisters, I've always loved them deeply, you know what I'm saying? So when they started to glorify the gangbanging shit and the cholos, like, I felt like I had to be that.
Right.
You know what I mean? In some strange way, because if they admire these dudes, then I gotta be those dudes.
Well, I was gonna say it's a product of your environment,
exactly,
so to speak, especially within your. That's started with your own household. Right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So they, you know, they to this day, you know, like my sisters are a huge impact on me. You know what I'm saying? They're the closest thing I have to a mother. You know, so
what were they bumping at that time?
You guys,
no shit.
Guys, yeah, you guys, X Clan, shit. They're bumping Funk Dubious, Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, that was the shit, dog. Like, you know. I used to go cruising with them and Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? They had the little hatchback Honda Civic or a Bug.
I remember Hollywood, bro. When we dropped first dropped Brown and Proud in 91. No, 90. And we had a backpack full of, I've told the story before, cassettes, bro. And we were just on the fucking boulevard smash. You know, running the gangster fools, they're on the corner, whatever. But those were the ones that we were running up to, you know, passing out the cassettes. It was all about like flyers, you know what I mean?
Homies,
hey, check us out. And then we hit the boulevard, hit up every Nissan truck, every lowrider, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. By the time we got to the end of the street, bro, everybody's bumping that Brown and Proud intro. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, yeah, we succeeded. But that's how you promoted your shit back then. It wasn't an MP3, it wasn't a wave, it wasn't an email.
Nah, we used to go to the clubs like when they got out, you know?
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't let us in because we were too thugged out.
Yeah.
So we would sit in the parking lot.
Florentine Garden.
And Florentine Gardens, Camachos, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Camachos.
What about the Red Onion?
What's the other one? Right there. Damn, I'm thinking about one. Hold up, the Hop.
The Hop. Yeah, that's the OG club right there.
Yeah, but we used to, you know, Capone used to give us the boxes of posters.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and then he would be like, hey, like, go hit the clubs. And we would we'd be, you know, on one and you know, run around young and fuck at where you gonna meet the bitches at when they come out the club. You feel what I'm saying? So we were flirting and promoting. You feel what I'm saying? At the same time.
So now you mentioned Capone because we had a Criminal on, and he told the same story, bro. He was like, man, we used to hunt. He was like, we used to guerrilla market. Yeah. Capone had us out there just fucking. Put it this way, like if you didn't know about High Power, you knew about it by the time we left that motherfucker, you know, because we just rated that, and this wasn't just here in LA or Southern California, it was everywhere, you know. Now, were you around the time where Criminal
at the beginning? No, Criminal's the first one to ever like really, how should I say it, man? Like to really embrace me as far as like recording, you know what I'm saying? Like, so Criminal was the first song I ever really recorded with him.
Okay, so you guys got music together.
I just got out the joint.
Okay.
Man, a gang. Like, I got Criminal's my boy, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, we you know, we've gone separate ways because we're, you know, we're alphas. You
Bosses.
feel me? Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, that's the homie. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, like he, the homie Stomper took me over there. I had just got out. I had done 4 years for Rivalries. And I got out, and Stomper was excited to see me, and I'm like, what the fuck's this fool's urgency? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm out like 2 days, and he comes to Southgate to pick me up at my sister's house, and he's like, hey, fool, like, we're going to the studio. And I'm like, what do you mean studio? We're going to the studio, fool, with Mr. Criminal. And I'm like, whoa. I missed their wave, you know, Capone and Criminal. So when he's
because you went in what 05 or something like that?
Nah, fuck no, I went in like 2002.
Oh, okay.
2002. So I got out like 4 years after that. So then, no, and then I went back for 10. So I've done a few.
Yeah. Okay. So before the 10,
yeah, before the 10, I did 4. Gotcha. So yeah, so Stomps was like so livid about it. Come on, man, let's go. And sure enough, like we pulled up to Criminal, and then Criminal's energy was on point with me. You know, like we right
game
away,
recognized
yeah,
game.
we were the same, and he was younger than me even at the time.
Yeah,
and I was just so impressed by his professionalism and his ambition. You know,
sure,
because I never seen nobody like that. You gotta understand.
He was
like,
a youngster too when he started with.
He was young, dog.
You said he was like 18, 19.
We used to go record, and I think it was Fontana, if I'm not mistaken. He had a pad on Fontana. I remember they took a little flip over there. And a few Busy Boom pulled up over there. But anyways, yeah, at the time when I first met him, yeah, I was just like, like I said, I never met a dude like him. You know, like his age, doing what he was doing, and I was just so intrigued by him.
Being so young, having that business state of mind,
and being able to communicate. Cause I'm a gangbanger first, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Before the rap shit, you know?
Right.
Heavy, like gangs was everything.
We know. We hear your music.
Yeah. So yeah. So I never met anybody that can balance the both, you know? Like he was a hood motherfucker, but then he was already like working on being the man of his family. And to me that was like so like refreshing, dog. You understand what I'm saying? It was like, damn, this fool's from like so-and-so and like run around and doing this shit. And damn, like you walk outside, he already had his pad. I remember he had the new Escalade in his driveway before, like it had just came out. You know what I mean? It was the pearl white one, you know? And I remember pearl white with the wood grain, and I was just so like, man, I'm a be on this fool's tip fast. Like I got to get my bread.
Do you think that between you, Capone, and Criminal, because it's kind of similar, doing the prison time or whatnot, coming out, obviously that changed your mind to want to do better, and that kind of had an influence on, you know, changing your lifestyle up a little bit, right?
It did, but I was just so invested in the block, you know, and what I mean by invested is like
bringing the block with you.
Yeah, dog. Like there was no me without the homies. Like I didn't know nothing else. You gotta understand, like my mom died, I was 12 going on 13, and automatically when an adult should have adopted me, the barrio adopted me.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like I just lost my gang mama last week.
Did you lose your your father before your mom passed?
No, my dad passed away way after. My dad passed away while I was doing my 10 years.
Okay.
And I credit him for my change. You know, like when he died, I had to like, man, it was just very hard, dog, on me. You know what I'm saying? Like it broke me. I've never had nothing break me like that, you know? And it broke me because, like what I was just telling you, like as a man, I never got to have conversation with him or ever, as his only son, I never got to buy him dinner. You know what I'm saying?
So you come out of jail and it's like both your parents are
gone. Everybody's gone. My grandma's gone. My brother-in-law's gone. My dad's gone. My primo's gone. And my house is just different.
Yeah,
it's a lot quieter, you know.
Yeah,
and I noticed the void, but the void made me feel like, hey, it's time to step up.
Right.
It's time to, like, you know what I mean. It's time to be a man. Like there's no more excuses. There's no more like, you know, there's no more time to waste. And that's like when I did this change, what I've done thus far, you know.
You know, I commend you on that, brother, because a lot of people, you know, gente could go the opposite route, you know, and they have, you know what I mean? Like they just turn to drugs, they just end up on the street. You know, I know a lot of cats like that. And that's why I commend you and Criminal and Capone for. I remember when Capone walked into the studio, bro, when I was there, first time I met him. Hey, what's up, ODN? I want to, you know, I want to do this rap thing, bro. And he goes, you know, I'm from the street, you know, I'm do whatever, you know, his words were, but he was like, I want to start making music. And he did, bro. I watched his fucking career go from 0 to 100.
Nah, well, that fool was ambitious, you know?
Yeah.
And I give credit to his lineage, like his bloodline, like what he comes from, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no denying their hustle.
Right.
You know, there's no denying their ambition, you feel what I'm saying?
Sure.
So you know, he brought something to the table for the homies that was necessary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like whether people, even myself, like I've probably never said it publicly before, but just his whole business mentality to bring it to the hood, we hadn't seen it on that level yet. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like somebody that was embracing only gangbangers and gangbangers only.
He's a big part of that, the whole Chicano rap movement. If not, you know, him and cats like Royalty, low profile records.
The tour bus was like a gang module. You feel what I'm saying? Like anywhere we went, it was a gang of fools from different
I remember
hoods.
rolling in the fucking limos, man. We'd take a break, we'd be recording, and then it was, at that time, it was Capone, Snapper, Little Dreamer. I don't even know Little Dreamer was right. I think he rapped on a couple of them. Big Dreamer would come around and just a couple of the other homies, and Capone would be like, man, let's take a break. Oh, what do you want to do? Because I was focused on the production, dog, and he was like, man, let's just go hit a club or something. So we go to the fucking, like the Paisa Club, Hacienda, or we go to whatever. He'd get a limo, and we all just pack in there. And I'm going, fuck, dog, am I gonna come back alive tonight?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta produce this album. You know what I mean?
We were getting at shootouts at the car shows, you know, like when Dub had them at the Fontana Speedway, like me and my hood and another hood, we got into it because they were bumping heads with Capone and them, you know what I'm saying? So so we went through the gangbanging shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, like, you know, like when the little homies try to like flex on me, I'm like, dog, like, relax, bro.
Yeah.
Like you gangbanging on a keyboard, fool. Like we had to be outside. You know, like the only reason why motherfuckers know you is because of that phone, fool.
That's right.
You ain't outside, fool. Like you're really not. Like their definition of outside compared to ours is, man, we didn't go home for weeks. You know, when we went home, it was to pick up underwear and socks.
Yeah.
And shower real quick. And then hey sis, I'll be back.
Yeah.
All right, mijo. It was regular.
It was just writing for a label, would you say?
At the time,
and music. Or?
At the time, it was just like, dog. And I'm sure you can like vouch, right? Like the streets were just thugged out, fool.
That time, yeah.
Super, like everything was thuggery, dog. Like even the females, dog. Like the females were they followed code, you know. They followed protocol. They weren't hood hopping, you know what I mean? Fucking everybody. Like it was they banged the hood just like we did, and they took pride even when we went to go do terms. Like they still took care, and like it was religiously the gang banging. Like there was no room for nothing else to distract us from that.
Right.
And if it did, you were an outsider, like far away. You know? Motherfuckers didn't want to fuck with you at all no more. You know what I'm saying?
Well, did you ever, I mean, I think you probably answered this question, but like when you would perform, like you guys go on tour or whatever, and then you perform against other fools that had records out, like, I don't know, I don't want to say names, but just, did you guys ever get into confrontations at shows?
Well, the original, one of the main reasons that we started rapping was because of Slow Pain and Old Town Records. Like that's the rival hood, you know? So
Shout out Slow, Lil Demon.
Yeah, when they started, Demon, that's main enemigo right there. That dude, you know what I'm saying? So when they were shining, me and Stomper as a barrio, we were like, there's no way the enemies can outshine us. Like we can't stay behind, you know?
Right.
So that sparked it was rivalry, like competitive nature, you know?
Sure.
And we were shooting at each other, you know, like Demon, Slow Pain, like they're busting at us, we're on Whittier, you know what I'm saying? Like it was real conflict, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was like that. You know what I'm saying? Because
and this was all over music.
This was it was hood shit. Because Demon,
territorial.
Because Demon for Rivera is he's a real gunner. You feel what I'm saying? Like his reputation is real. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude's not a rapper. He's a gangbanger first. You know what I'm saying? So that put a lot of pressure on us. You feel what I'm saying? Like amongst the homeboys, like, oh boys, and because he was dissing us, my hood. You know, he was dissing my barrio in songs. So we were like, what? Okay. So now, and then you got to understand, right? Banging on Wax had just came out.
The Bloods and the Crips. Yeah, they were on our record label, Quality Records.
So we're seeing this and we're like, okay, we're going to start banging on Wax and the Calles. Fuck it. And it was real. Like, you know, I was already signed to High Power and we were slugging it out. You know, like us and Demon and them and Old Town Records. Like it was.
You signed to High Power what, 05 or?
04, I want to say. 04, okay. 04, summer, late 04. But so yeah, so the you know, the gangbanging shit was like, it was with the music. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Capone might not want to admit it now, but you know, he used to, you know, tighten up the the screws are on us to like, you know what I mean, keep it more like set tripping and like fuck everybody and like certain one of us like were the torpedoes to say, you feel what I'm saying? Like, oh, Bozo's let Bozo talk shit to them, you know what I mean?
Right.
And hey, like so and so, like, all right then, don't trip. Like, let's.
Here's a question I got for you. So, you grew up on. Let's go back. We grew up on the same hip hop. You know what I mean? Whatnot before the whole Latino, you know, explosion came, and then you said somewhere Chicano rap kind of just flooded, and then just kind of you said it was I think you like a black eye.
Yeah, it was a black guy. Yeah, because
but then you signed to a Chicano rap label.
Yeah. Well, we didn't like. Okay, from my perspective, it was like I thought that I could change, like the sound. You know what I'm saying? Like when I came in, I was like, okay, I rap different than these dudes, and I have different
mentality.
Not mentality, but like I have different knowledge as far as music. Like I know they weren't listening to fucking let's say use for example, like I know for a fact the homies weren't bumping like Kumo D. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I was listening to like everybody because I was obsessed with hip hop, you know?
Right.
So I knew that Chicano rap wasn't what hip hop would consider fuck, man. Like I knew they wouldn't consider hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I knew that they would see Chicano rap as a swap meet version of hip hop. If you know,
watered down,
you know, with less talent. You gotta think. Like, let's be real. Like, man, for homies coming after you guys were way ahead of them lyrically and delivery and style and all that.
I ain't gonna lie, and I've said this before. You know, I had to put a lot. I mean, because when I got to the production side, I produced a lot of the homies, right?
Yeah.
But it was like I had to put a lot of these fuckers on beat.
Yeah.
They just weren't.
And well, the lyricism was just so basic, and then the production was just so like, it was just so outdated, dog. And I never understood how that happened. You
know who really blew my mind when they came to my studio was Conejo. Conejo came with a backpack. I never seen a cholo with a backpack before, bro. And you know, because I was in my own area, you know, I was there, and he was like a b-boy, bald-headed cholo.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, we got to know each other, and he was telling me from Harpies and whoop-de-whoop, and I was like, all right, what you want to do, homie? You know, and he was like, just what you got, you know? And he walked in, I showed him some of my beats, and he picked two of them. He goes, all right, let's go. I go, you want to go ride it? What you want to do? He was like, nah, I already got it, dog. I got my verses ready. Let's go. Kylie on me. He was like, boom, went in the dude. You ain't got enough bullets, and he's just talking like. But the dude's on beat and he's fucking killing it, dog.
Okay, to me, Conejo is the true definition of Chicano rap, if you ask me. Lyricism, presentation, storytelling,
all old school story.
Yeah, is he the king? Well, I mean, I think that evolution had to come. You know what I mean? For there to be a king.
No, I get it.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
to me, right? But to me, if you were to look up in the dictionary, it should be Conejo's face when you look up Chicano rap.
Right, because at that time, again, we were so saturated with fuck that
because he could rap, but that fool could rap,
and there was only you had to handpick him at that point.
That fool had bars. Now,
he could rap. Now motherfuckers are just killing it.
And he looked like they took that motherfucker off a fucking pulled him down from a temple. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like he had the look. He had it just his presence, everything. Like he was like, to me, you know.
Right.
I've always thought that he was Chicano rap. Like everybody else was an imitation of him. That's just the way I saw it. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But
so going back to your story, in your mentality, you were trying to like kind of like switch
evolve
gears
it because my delivery and my rapping skills were similar then to what they are now. You know, like now after being in the lab so much, like I've sharpened up a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you know, practice makes perfect. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I'm more skilled now. But at the time, like I was already listening to Jay-Z, like. From the Reasonable Doubt all the way to the Blueprint, you know.
What did you learn from artists like that?
Delivery to me was everything. Like being in pocket and the swagger in which they deliver their verbals.
Yes.
You know, like there's a certain way that you could say something to make it have a different impact and definition. You know what I'm saying? So, because to me, Jigga's flow was never complicated. It was just crisp. And then
he's a freestyler.
And then the dude like was a one take Jake, you know, like
freestyler. Go in the studio, and knock it out. Yep.
So
naturally.
And then you know, I grew up off Pac, obviously, and before that Cube, and before that Slick Rick. Like, so if you look at the pattern of rappers that I look up to, they express confidence in their delivery. You know what I'm saying? It was their presence that was more impactful than even what they were saying.
Ice Cube went to the East Coast, man, when he went solo to get beats.
Yeah.
When he left NWA.
Yeah, most definitely.
A couple others did, I think, too. Some cats, you know, kind of frown upon it, like, you know, back in the day, man, because that whole East Coast West Coast beat started at that, you know, and it was like, man, you went to the East Coast over there, and what do you think about that? Do you think it was not saying wrong, but like
no? Listen. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the perfect example, right? Like when I really got into like the culture, and when I really got into like being a face for the culture, you know what I'm saying, and having a mouthpiece and speaking up for the culture, I felt like I had to go back to the motherland. You know, so I went to Tulum a couple years ago, you know, and I went to the temples, and I saw a spiritual doctor, you know what I'm saying? So to me, like, you got to go back. Oh, you know what I'm saying? In order for your roots are the blueprint. You just don't know it yet. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you need to go back to the blueprints also, so that you could be reminded and learn why we're doing what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So to me, like, if you're a student of any game, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna look for the oracles that have the knowledge of the past, present, and future, because they've seen so much. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So hell yeah,
you understand more.
That's why I work with Ernie G. Now, Ernie G produces everything I do.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he does all my shit.
Proper Dose Ernie G?
Proper Dose Ernie G. Yeah,
I didn't know
working
that.
with him since I came home from prison.
Oh shit.
You know? So he's had a hand in everything I've done. So because I'm a student of the game.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, and it's helped me fucking tremendously, like, being with him. Because I would hate sitting in studios, and no disrespect to little homies, it would be a motherfucker like 23 years old, dog, and all he knew how to do was digitally on the computer do shit
and download other people's drum kits.
When I'm with Ernie G, fool, like the engineering tables back here.
Yeah.
His turntables right here, and they're both connected. And while we're recording, that fool will hear something. He'll turn around his chair, turn on the fucking the turntable, the mixer, and then he's looking in his fucking wall full of fucking vinyl, and he's like, boom, pulls it out. He fucking cleans it. You know how they do their shit. The OGs do their shit, and I'm intrigued by that. I don't know about anybody else.
No, absolutely, because
to me that's the essence, fool.
That's exactly what you're saying, bro. Going back to your roots, and that's the roots of hip hop.
Yeah, so then that fool starts, bro, and he's mixing directly, and I'm just like, I'm in the right place. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm with motherfuckers know what the fuck they doing.
Quick called up on the show a few weeks ago, and he was saying the same thing, bro. Like how digital versus analog is just way different.
It detaches you. It's like, look, dog. It's like trying to play Madden football on your fucking console, and then thinking that you could go to the field and play. It's not, my dog. You're an avatar.
I was like that after a couple Rocky movies back in the day, dog.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying? We learned real quick.
Yeah. So like, you know, I think it's important, you know what I mean, to always pay tribute, homage, and learn from those that came before me. You feel what I'm saying?
Speaking of Ernie G, where the homie Frank V at, bro?
Man, we don't know. You know, none of us know. Yeah, it's like that. You know, it's just I know.
Man, I remember Frank. We linked up. We did a couple tracks together on Low Profile, and then next thing I know,
his delivery, his voice.
Oh, the dope ass rapper.
Nah, bro, he's like the Mexican Cube, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like. Man, but then, you know, the homies came, you know, we fucked it up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate to talk shit, but that's just the way I feel, you know?
Why do you think all of a sudden all of the homies just started coming and how did they
I'm going to tell you what happened. Look, I'm going to tell you what happened. As far as us on the streets.
And no disrespect, by the way.
No disrespect to nobody. LA, right? LA, gangbanging at that time, early 90s. I don't know if you remember, but we were making the news. All the time.
Oh yeah.
And then
the news reporters would come to the hoods and interview,
because it was so like they're fucking what do you call them when people tune in? Their ratings were going through the roof anytime they documented LA gangbanging.
Yep.
Like, the first ones I remember was Chucky and Midget from Cantavar Tortilla Flats. They had them on Fox. That shit, we were tuned in waiting for the next week to come in. So then shows like 2020 started coming to the hoods, and then other shows started doing like mini documentaries on the streets. So then the rural towns around us are watching this raza, you know, and they're like soaking up game. That's when the South Side like expanded to all the other different states, you know what I'm saying?
Isn't that crazy how podcasts are like that these days?
Exactly.
But we're the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. You're the journalist now.
Shit.
You know what I mean? We're journalists now. So I think that presence, it was like a romance that we had, like between rural towns, other states, to LA or Southern California in general. You feel what I'm saying? That influence that we had and such an impact. It created an appetite, bro. Anything Cholo was in.
Right. And was this after the house day? Remember the house was in, and they would go to the house parties. They see the fools ditching school.
Yeah.
They'd interview them.
Because for a while, when you guys were popping, it was party crews.
Right.
Street beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
Even my generation, we came out on fucking Street Beat, like at the playground. I think we were only like fucking 13,
and that's kind of when the Cholos were kind of like the scene was segueing in from the house.
The graffiti artists and the party crews started to look for stripes.
Right.
Because no longer was it's I compare it to social media now. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, like in order for you to get verified, like now you get a blue check, you needed a body, homie.
Right.
The fools that were the most known were the killers, true or false, in the hood. Like they were the heroes, fool.
Right.
For whatever ignorant mentality we were in at the time, we just glorified that shit so much. You know what I'm saying? And those were the dudes that were going viral. You know what I'm saying? Like the fools that were fighting murders were going viral. Bitches were writing them fools like they were celebrities. They got fan mail in jail for being killers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So
the pen pals.
So to me, that reflected on other states and rural towns. You know what I'm saying?
Just kind of like Quick said, you know, just like Compton. They want to be like Compton.
That song describes it to the T.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you guys came out, right? And you guys didn't seem hardcore enough to the rural towns,
right,
to be affiliated as gangbanging music,
right?
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So at that point, it was like they separated you guys as hip hop, which to me, fuck it is what it is. And then Chicano rap. Chicano rap was gangbanging music, strictly gangbanging music.
Got it.
And then the meth came into the streets, and the meth had such a delusional effect on people. The meth was, man, if anything, the devil and Chicano rap was his instrument. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was so combined and connected to each other. You know what I'm saying? So it was a few things that played part. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying the dope had a lot to do with the demise of Chicano rap?
Well, I think it had a lot to do with the growth of Chicano rap at that time. Because I don't know if you can relate. I've done drugs, by the way. You know, I've done heavy drugs and shit.
I've done a bump here or there.
And every drug has its almost like genre of music. If it makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
man, I've been trying to get on this weed fucking genre.
Okay, exactly. Okay,
paranoid up in this motherfucker.
So to us, when we were kids doing crank on the streets, Chicano rap, Brother Lynch, X-Rated, Spice One, we didn't even think Ice Cube was hard enough.
Speed was big back then.
That's what I'm saying. It was crank. Speed.
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Right.
So. Those were elements that played a huge part to me, I think, in Chicano rap.
Wow,
you know what I'm saying?
I never looked at that. That's cold, right?
And you get those crazy ass thoughts, dude, on that shit too, huh?
Exactly. And then what are the homies? Look at the homie Locote that was on High Power.
Yeah.
Fucking gutting people and all that shit. And what were we talking about? Pulling up and doing drive. And that's what we were doing on the streets. High off crank, you know, speed. And then listen to Chicano rap all night. We're listening to Child of Satan, Norwalk's Most Wanted. That was our shit in the hood, like religiously. That's still to this day in my barrio. If you play that shit, like the homies are looking at each other like, who we gonna kill?
Damn.
Am I lying or not, man?
You guys ever bump Brownside or who else was the other cat?
We did bump Brownside. We bumped LSD, but we were fucking. Look, dog, that's what I'm saying. Fun music wasn't good enough back then. We wanted murder music. Right. You know what I'm saying? Halle music, like doing dirt. That's what we wanted. We wanted that fuel. Because you got to understand, dog, like the enemies were coming all day and night. Yeah. It was like around the clock. The shootouts, broad daylight. Anywhere you went, dog, it was just guerra. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that goes back to what I was telling you earlier, man. The music is the heaviest influence on aside of drugs. I mean, even music can influence you to do drugs.
Yeah, most definitely. Hell yeah.
So music is just that. What read Bible scripture. What do they say about the music is just, it could either be the devil or I don't want to quote words that I'm not,
Yeah, me either.
Everybody's going to come after me and shit. There's a story in there, though.
Yeah, I had a neighbor, too. She'd be like, esa música es para el diablo. And like, it's crazy.
They would say that, and then they would say, oh, why, that's gangster music. Why you bring cholo rap?
Yeah.
I remember I've heard that before, too, and it's like...
Yeah, so to me, like, those things played a huge part. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, the gangbanging shit was just so... prevalent in the streets, man.
My homie, my primo, man. Shout out to my primo, bro. He just got out. He did 25 and for a case he caught first offense, right? And I'm gonna have him on because I'm gonna have him on, man, and tell his story. But long story short, first offense, brother. You know, I was supposed to go out with him, and he ended up going out with a couple of the homies. Shot some food, whatever, and then did his time. But I remember specifically he was heavy into Bay Area music.
Yeah.
Into Brother Lynch Hung, into RBL Posse. There's a blue bird on my shoulder. Shall I kill it? So that goes back to what you're saying, Tyson, and what you're saying.
Well, look, think about it.
And I would always say, damn, bro, like, me, I was bumping, Chronic. We were touring at this time. This was like 90, 93, 94, you know what I'm saying? When he went in. But, so I hear what you're saying based
think about
off
it,
his experience as far as music.
Cypress Hill came up, right? I mean, Psycho Realm.
Right.
What happens to Duke? Gets shot. Conejo's coming up. What happens with him? He's fighting a murder case. LA's most wanted on the news. Fox News. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, even our artists that were coming up, evolving, weren't even able to because the gangbanging was so fucking heavy.
Right.
I even think Frost took a seat back because the pressure was coming on him so hard from the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think even he had to, like, take a step back and start changing his sound and what he was saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was getting to a point where it's like, oh, you really about look at Cypress Hill. Oh, I could just kill a man. Dog, when that shit hit, we were outside, baby. Like, we were not.
That shit was not.
Come on, dog. like, come on, dog.
They changed the whole game with that, bro.
Come on, dog.
Yeah,
like,
Cube and everybody in their videos, bro. Like,
dog, that shit hit the street, dog. We were, like, it was real, dog. Like, we weren't trying to hear Mentirosa no more.
Right.
We didn't want to hear nothing that wasn't with that shit,
Yeah.
Side of shotgun.
When that movie Juice came out, New Jack City, it was over.
It was over.
It was gangster.
Everything was super gangster.
Woo.
You know what I mean? The media fed off that shit, dog. Like they knew the appetite and they knew what we wanted to eat.
So that brings up a conversation out the streets, and you say media. Let's go even on the corporate level. At this time, man, these bosses, these cats behind the tables, man, they're seeing how this is. How this
they're
is bringing in numbers. They're seeing. So let's start signing these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Let's start. Put. We don't care, man. If they kill it,
the saturation. The saturation.
And there's that whole conversation, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you could probably.
Well, yeah, they were giving out deals like fucking like lunch tickets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you looked it. Hey, here you go, distribution deal. Just bring it in. We'll cash you out, whatever, we'll whoop, and we'll put it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's kind of like how, I see it like the acting goes. I mean, a lot of homies are, they go out, they cast, they play roles, but it's usually the gangbang roles.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I feel like all of us, anyone in this room is more talented than that. I asked Gutierrez that, man, and I said, bro, these are the roles that you go. He goes, well, a lot of homies, they enjoy playing those roles. Okay, that's fair. I just always see further more than that, I don't know if that's a Hollywood thing or if it's a corporate thing, not letting you rise and only giving you these roles. It goes back to like the 70s, hey, when the only black roles there were afros.
Well, who's writing roles for us? Nobody. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the difference. The people writing the roles they're not from our lifestyle. You feel what I'm saying? So they couldn't write a true film or many films based on the culture aside from gangbanging.
Tax Collector was a motherfucker though. That shit was dope. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and once again, dog, like as a culture, we like to document our warfare. We thrive off that shit.
Right.
To this day, the homies are still getting cultura tatted on them to express that they ready to ride.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That they're about that life. You know what I'm saying? So, with us, dog, that's one thing that I could say is as a culture, we just have too much pride, man. Way too much pride. Like it's blinding us from a lot of potential. You know what I'm saying? The pride. And I'm guilty of that shit too. You know what I'm saying? Because I was wound up and groomed that way. You know what I mean? To be extremely prideful. You know what I'm saying? But as I get older and I see the opportunities that I'm stepping into, and I see that pride has a limited place in what we're trying to do, the success of our communities. You know,
do you think it's because, like, you know, we were so, how do I say, we're large in the community, majority, I will say that, I've been hearing that for years, it's true. But as in, I didn't want to say Hollywood, just being in the media, just being out there as an artist, as a you know, celeb, actor, whatever it is, because people think it's so small, we want to be the top one. The head, the you know what I'm saying?
I think that it's just lack of intellect, you know?
We want to be the one up there to do that, and no one, and I think that's what it is. It's like, it's crazy. It's two ways. Either you climb out the bucket and the ones below you are happy for you, but as soon as you try to get out that motherfucker, they pull you down. But at the same token, you're that dude that's at the top of the bucket, and you want nobody else below you to come up with you. There's a lot of heads like that too.
Well,
like George Lopez. Like, I mean, for an example, I mean, he was in the news catching shit because he said whatever he said. What he said, it's already been said. But you know, when the cats were saying, hey, he was going to do a brown and black tour, comedy tour, and I think Paul was saying that he wanted to be the only Latino Mexican on there. If you have another Mexican comedian,
I don't want to be there.
Then I don't want to be. Well, I don't know if there's truth to that.
I think that George Lopez has detached himself from the community, except for when he's playing a role. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, let's just say on his podcast who he surrounds himself with. He surrounded himself with people that
yes,
they're of our ethnicity, but they're not a part of our community. Like, he has that cop that's there. Come on, dog. How the fuck is that fool gonna keep him grounded? You're talking about a man that walked around with a badge and a gun and felt empowered to, you know, judge and execute, you know what I'm saying? Like, the law.
He did help out with the Richard Ramirez, though. He caught that fool. I think that was that fool.
Let's be clear, though. The community caught him.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
That fool, that's right. They beat that fool's ass.
That fool, if anything, rescued Richard Ramirez. Because we already had that motherfucker we wanted.
That's right.
So we can't give him credit for none of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We could give him credit for coming and picking up the mail.
Yeah.
But not delivering it. You know what I'm saying? But so when you surround yourself around people like that, it puts you in a place where you start feeling yourself like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You start thinking that you're above a lot of people. You gotta understand, a peace officer's mentality is never equal to us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then the other individuals that he's around are squares.
Right.
So who's gonna hold George Lopez accountable for saying that?
Yeah.
Like, if me and you say some leva shit right now, we're gonna pull each other's side to the side quick. Hey, fool, don't do that shit. What the fuck's wrong with you, bro?
Yeah.
Like, we gonna that shit.
Right.
It ain't going up. That shit ain't gonna. You know what I mean? Like, we better than that. Yeah. But he's around squares. They don't know about conversations like that.
Yeah.
They don't know about telling George Lopez, like, hey, fool, you wrong. I would have told him on there, my boy, don't talk like that.
No, because they're just yes men.
They're just there off his celeb, and they believe like anything that he does is golden. You feel what I'm saying? So he's just too detached from reality. But that's what money and materialistic advantages will do to you. You know what I'm saying? You start thinking you're privileged. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come back down to earth. That's why charitable work and like working amongst people that aren't as fortunate as you is important, because it keeps you grounded.
Now you do a lot of charity in the community as well. Let's just touch upon that real quick, because well, I hate to bring this up, but like I did hear somebody had asked you. I came across a video about gold tolls, and you were like, well, if Gold Tolls is down to come help me serve the community, you know, not this has anything to do with Gold Tolls, but there's what I found out where you were doing community work, where you were giving back to the homeless. Is that something that you got going on where you're actually active?
Well, so I work with
what is it? Exactly?
I work with a foundation that's umbrella under Homeboy Industry and Father Greg. So we have a facility in the city of Pomona where they feed 10,000 people monthly. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dope.
And also offer other services like transitional housing for females coming out from doing life in prison, or females that are just, you know, getting out of prison. Also men that have that, you know, because recently the laws changed. They've kicked out a lot of lifers, you know. So before, like, if we did a murder, all of us, we all got life. Now the law changed to like only the shooter's gonna get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before it was like, fuck it, everybody in the car is doing life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So as those individuals are getting out, we're providing them with skills and resources to get them on their feet. When I caught my last 10 years, they gave me additional years for time that I had already done. So it was called an enhancement. because I had been to prison 3 times before that. They gave me a year for every time, so I added to my date.
Shit.
And then they gave me another 5-year prison enhancement for not being out more than 24 months without catching a case. That's an additional 5 when the original crime that I carried only had a max of 3 years.
Fuck,
so what I'm saying is, but they had to though, bro. Like, look, dog, it's only right, homie. Like if you get busted for a burner and you're not shooting or robbing nobody with it, why should you go do a gang of time? Right. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like me giving you time for having the intent to want to kick his ass, but not doing it. Come on, dog. When does your free will get validated? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got caught with a burner, but you didn't get caught with a body. Like, let's be real. Right. You know what I'm saying? And what's happening right now, the rise in crime isn't because of the laws. It's because they defunded the cops. You know what I mean? So less on the street. There's less on the dog. Trust me when I tell you, like, you could be getting, if you're downtown full and you get robbed, you're gonna be waiting for a cop at least an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there's a misconception of the laws and how they're being handed out. But we can't we can't hold criminals accountable until we're holding sex offenders accountable equally. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're gonna talk about laws that really hurt us and damage our communities, like, what people don't want to talk about, dog, is that our communities are damaged behind a lot of sex crimes. Right. And women and young men that have been sexually abused and tormented through their youth with drugs, with broken homes, with financial disabilities. But they don't bring that up. But nobody talks about that. Yeah. It's just the gangbangers, the thugs, the crimes. But what created this? Let's get down to the roots of what's happening. Like, look, dog, where I work at, there's a kid there that's missing one eye. His mom took a little African-American young man. He's about 10 years old. His mom took the eyeball out because she thought there was a camera embedded in his eye. You know what I'm saying? And he's there with us, like, now, like, we work with him and help. You know what I'm saying? So, like, so what I'm saying is, like, it's deeper than gangbanging, dog. You know what I mean? The gangbanging is a family when you don't have one. Right. You know what I'm saying? An extended family, and you know, the need for love, it'll drive anybody to the devil, fool. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at all these at-risk youths, man, that are out there. And look at these kids. Look at these white boys turning jihad from America. They have no purpose. They don't know their purpose because their parents don't give them a purpose. Yeah. They let them sit on that fucking computer all day and that phone all day, and they're just soaking up game instead of from foreigners, instead of from their dad or the neighbor or their uncle that should be stepping up. That's why I was telling you earlier what I was telling you. Like, we have to have a voice. Us, the OGs, the old heads, the mature individuals. You know what I'm saying? We have to be talking to these kids even when they're telling us they ain't listening. Even when they tell us they don't like what we're saying. Right. Who gives a fuck if you don't like it? I'm still gonna say it. You're still gonna hear it because you need to hear it, bro. Yeah. It might spark a thought in you 2 years from now or even 5. Yeah, but it's there, and at least you'll remember that even when I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? That's why George Lopez acts the way he acts, because nobody's telling him that. Nobody's telling him how important it is for him to be doing this shit. You know what I mean? He's so rich, and he's been a celebrity, what now, 20 years? At least. Homie, you're no longer one of them. You're not a civilian no more, bro. Right. You're a privileged individual. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's keeping you humble. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not around the homies. Right. You want to separate yourself from the people that can hold you accountable as far as you can. Look at what he said. I don't want no Mexicans around me. Because I'm saying, you know what I mean? He's on the show. He said, like, nah, I want to be the only Mexican. Why, fool? Why? What is it about us that makes you so uncomfortable? Like, you looking at us every time you look in the mirror. His nopal is bigger than mine, fool. Let's be real. Ese way parece, you know, chancla tumbada. You know what I mean? Like, that fool. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, like, that's why this brotherhood, this carnalismo is important. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so important, dog, because the example that we set is going to translate to the future. You know what I mean? The ones that are coming up under us. You know I think you're a leader in terms of that, brother. I love to hear you speak. I love to hear your intelligence as far as that. Where did that spark? I mean, was it while you were locked up? It was while I was locked up. It was on the streets. Did you read a lot? I know you got into some trades as well. I read a lot. Educated myself. Was that because you had extra time? You were like, I might as well educate myself right now. Well, I had life gave me the opportunity to meet real men, complete men. You know what I'm saying? So it was conversation behind the walls. And it was conversations with instructors at school. You know, it was with bosses where I worked, when I was working. It was with dudes in school. It was the higher ups that I met in the shoot program or in the hole. You feel what I'm saying? It was a little bit of everything, but what was important was me having the presence of mind to listen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
the
soak
first
it
step,
up.
right?
That was the first step for me to humble myself and listen and open up to that shit. You know what I'm saying? That was the most important thing, because I admire men. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know one little boy that I admire.
Especially when you're losing your father, and it's like
there's a hunger for that, man. There's a void in you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that void creates anger if you don't understand it. I was an angry young man. Like, I was an angry fuck, dog. Even into my early 20s, I was just so angry with myself. I wanted to end it. Like, I wanted life to end. I was tired of the struggle, the heartache, the death around me. I was tired of burying my homies. I was tired of burying my relatives. I was tired of seeing my mom mentally, like, laying in that fucking bed fighting cancer, dog. Like, I was tired of getting beat as a juvenile in the halls, the way them, you know, the counselors used to beat the shit out of us. I was tired of white judges telling me that I couldn't go home with my family. That shit it just broke me, dog. Eventually, I couldn't take it no more. Once I saw my oldest daughter, like, growing up without me, you know what I'm saying? And once my dad had his funeral in his wake, and I wasn't there to say a word, you know what I'm saying?
You had your daughter before you went in the second time?
Yeah, I had my first daughter, my oldest daughter, when I was 17.
And that was before the second.
Yeah, that
term.
That was before any term.
And she's what? How old now?
Now she's 20. She just had her birthday March 8th. She's 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was your first and only going in. Mm-hmm. And then when you came out, then I
started making more.
Making more.
but I knew that I should at this point.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Well,
like,
at that point, you already knew what you wanted to do.
Yeah. So I'm the head of household in my family. Like, I'm traditional. I want my wife to be home to raise my kids. I don't want her working. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I work extra hard to provide that for my children. You know what I'm saying?
Not get too personal, but is this the same wife that you have that your daughter's?
No.
Different mom.
Nah, hell no, that didn't work out. We were young, you know?
Yeah.
And she wasn't gonna wait all that time in prison.
Sure.
She was young.
I mean, you know, some will.
I started doing time at 18 and she was 16.
Okay, I got you.
So she had my daughter when she was 15.
She didn't really know herself. Neither one of you
she
guys.
Had to grow. You know what I mean? She had to live life, and I accepted that. You know,
Yeah.
I accepted it.
Relationship still cool though?
Hell yeah. She respects the fuck out of me, and I respect the fuck out of her because she raised my daughter with only one man. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a gang of motherfuckers coming in and out. So I give her credit for that, and I respect it. You know what I'm saying? And I acknowledge the fact that my daughter is who she is because of her, not me. Like, you know, like I was gone. Like, you know, that's a relationship that I had to sacrifice to be who I am now. Like, me and my daughter we're cool, don't get me wrong, but we don't have the relationship that we should, and it's my fault.
Does she know? What does she think of? Like the whole BOZO thing. I mean, she just sees you as dad, or does she call you by your first?
No, she's proud.
Because I know some daughters will say, you know, if they don't know you, they'll call you by your first name.
I wouldn't let that shit ride because I know it's important for her to acknowledge me as a father. You know what I mean? I'm not her homie. I'm never going to be her friend. I'm her dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I hold the keys to everything that she needs. You know what I'm the first man that's going to give her everything that she needs to understand further in life.
This is your 24-year-old.
My 24-year-old. Yeah, like I need to set an example of how a man's supposed to provide.
So when you came out, she was how old?
She was 18.
Okay, so at this point, what's her thought process? You haven't been around.
At this point, she was like, "What's up? Like I want to live with you."
She was still calling. Oh shit!
Yeah, so she was like, "I want to come stay with you."
Damn.
Yeah, she missed me. Yeah,
that's what's up.
So she was like, "I want to come stay with you." So I made the adjustments necessary for her to stay with me. But then life, you know, does what life does, and she fell in love with a young man. And then I'm not the type of dad to have old boy on my couch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get out like that. You feel me? Like, you got to earn that place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when she saw that I wasn't on board with that, she made her way with that dude, and it worked out, you know, for a while. Like, they did their thing, but I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? I was still a jealous father.
Yeah.
That was my little girl.
Plus, you hadn't really spent that much time with her.
Exactly, dog. And I was looking for her to be my anchor, my reason. At that moment when I first came home, I needed a reason, you know what I'm saying? I had other reasons around me, my nieces and my sisters, of course, but
she's older though. She wants to go. I mean, she wants her dad with her. She wants to go live with him. But at the same token, like, you missed 10 years of her life.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And from this little girl who's I get it, bro. Because I got a 16-year-old now, and she want nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But she still lives, you know, under our roof and whatnot. But I can imagine you coming home, not seeing her for that long, wanting to spend the time, trying to make up that time.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, so it took a toll on us too. Like, even after I came home, we were together, I want to say like the first 6 months. and then we felt, you know, we went our separate ways for like 2 years, you know, because she was doing her thing, and didn't want my she didn't want my overbearing, you know what I'm saying, and controlling of the situation, you know. But
you don't want to damage that relationship either. You don't want her to be like,
nah. Well, I respected it, you know what I'm saying. I respected it, but at the end of the day, look, dog, I was brought up to, like, no matter what, like, your parents, you don't disrespect them, you know what I'm saying. So I felt it necessary to let her know, like, look, like, you disrespecting me by going behind my back, and I'm not gonna make you feel like it's okay. I'm gonna take a stand as a father, because I know that shit's not gonna work out. I've been there, done that. You feel what I'm saying? And I gotta let you know that. You know what I mean? And if it's up to you to accept it or not.
It's like what you do all day, I done before 7 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. So you know her being young and being foolish at some point. You know, she went with her heart, and you know, thankful though, she's a good girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I think that's how I know God loves me. Because if I had a daughter that was like extremely promiscuous, I'd do some shit.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
So yeah, man, you know, it was quite the experience though, being the dad to a young woman, you know.
Absolutely.
It was like, fuck.
What the shotgun ready, huh?
Hell yeah.
Especially being the first too, that girl.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, bro.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Cause we think about our old ways, you know. But I mean, you really didn't experience that though, did you? I mean, well, you was
hell yeah,
hit
like
bitches before.
I started off young, you know. I started off young. I jumped off the porch when my mom died. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know, quiet as kept. I lost
that's
my
how you
virginity
had your daughter.
I lost my virginity at 13. At 13, I had already lost my virginity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And shit, by 15, we were already running trains on chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it was. You know, it was. You know how it is before, back in the day. Like, we were.
Your hormones are.
We were at the park.
Bro.
We were at the park training chicks and fucking them in the hills and under the bleachers. You know what I mean? Like, gay. Yeah, that's. Well, I mean, hey, I mean, that's how our generation was.
Back in the back in those days, I mean, there was no fucking cell phones. There were nothing, bro. It was just you pick up a chick and we're just kicking it.
I mean, we were, dog. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, that's just how. Look, dog. And look now, like, you remember the continuation schools for all the pregnant girls? Yeah, they don't really have them no more. Like, for our generation, they had a gang of them shit. Yeah. Every high school had them pregnant girls across the street.
Oh, shit. Facts.
Now it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a good thing, but you know, it's a testament to how we grew up. You know,
there's probably a lot of girls knocked up back in the day, huh?
Man,
when I was in school, I didn't even see really any pregnant shit.
That's what they call them 90's babies, bro.
Yeah, fool. Like, we didn't look, dog. Safe sex was a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wanted everything dangerous back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't know about none of that shit. Like, and to us, having kids as a young gangbanger like that was dope. Yeah, it was part of the look. We had the little kids.
Signature.
We had the little kids bald in the hood for wearing baby Cortez. Like, that's Lil BOZO right there. Lil BOZO, where you at? You know, that's just it was the culture was just that heavy.
I know we sit here and we're kind of like, you know, going back in the day and talking about the little ones. I know you as a father, you've always been there. I can tell you've been there for your kids. But at the same token, those little kids that are running around, those are the ones that are growing up with no dads.
Those are the ones, most definitely. They're the ones that are right, like. Man, a lot of them are doing life right now. You feel me? Like, I know them. You know what I'm saying?
And these are the kids that you're reaching out to now.
Yeah,
right?
Those are the kids that I'm reaching out to now, because now I have experiences to share with them. Like, before I didn't. You know, things that you would never. Look at what the fuck I'm saying with you. Fuck you talking about?
I'm saying with you, my G.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's facts though. Like you know, like, these are things that we cheat ourselves from, right? When we don't allow ourselves to go past the block, right? You know, absolutely, because we're stuck, dog. We're stuck in our own. How should I say it, man? I think that we don't ever allow ourselves to have the mind of like a explorer. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we find comfort where we're at, and that's all we want. We're like, fuck it. This is what it is. Section 8 housing. The homies are in the alley, like, you know, baby daddy sells dope to get by and pay.
And that's all we know.
And we're good.
And that's that. There's no drive.
Yeah, my dad did the same. My uncle did the same. And, you know, it is. And if he goes to do a turn, fuck it. Then I got to, you know, move on or whatever.
You know what I mean? Be comfortable nowadays, man. You, like you said, you use the couch analogy. You can't just be on the couch just fucking chilling, bro. Not in this day and age. You got to get out. And there's too many more resources. There's so many resources that are attainable, like, back then compared to what we had back then.
Well, compared to what we had, we didn't have homies in the hood pulling up in their union trucks talking about, you know, I'm making fucking let's say fucking 2,000 a week, hard earned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we didn't have homies talking about LLCs, and we didn't have homies talking about, hey, build up your credit, my dog, because that's just gonna help you buy a house later. Like, we just, that game wasn't given, especially from somebody that looks like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
would say technology changed that though, right?
Well,
I mean, technology with the device,
it made us aware. It made us aware,
good and bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it made us aware, and it opened doors to possibilities. You know what I'm saying? Look, technology to me is amazing. You know what I mean? It's what you make it. You know what I'm saying?
You started off when you came out, and you said you got a couple trades under your belt, or you know.
Hell yeah!
I found out you were an electrician. Or something
I do electrical. I do solar. I do a lot of shit. Energy auditing, name it, I do it. As far as like,
so if this rap shit, not that it never will, but if you decide to take a setback, I mean, I don't know.
I'm good.
You know, you're good.
I'm on.
Regardless.
Yeah, I'm on. Yeah. The rap shit. Look, dog. The rap shit is an obligation that I feel that I have. You know, I don't feel that. Well, it's not that I don't feel. It's that I see that there's not too many individuals that come from the disadvantages that I come from. I'm willing to talk about it.
So that's your obligation.
That's my obligation. Yeah. Well, I'm a God-fearing man, and the Lord didn't bless me with all these blessings for me to hold them to myself.
So you're using this as a platform.
Hell yeah, I'm using that. I'm a big homie to everybody now. Yeah. Not just my homies in my hood.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a big brother. I'm a big homie. I'm an uncle. You know, you name it, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I have an open door policy. Even my DM. Like, if somebody needs somebody, hit me up.
You said something about as far, because I know haters come and go, and they're on the devices, and you said something about these fools, you could say whatever you want about me now, I ain't tripping, but the only time I'm gonna step up is when you talk about my family.
Well, that's the thing though. Like, look, I've you know, like, I know warfare, it's right hand to me, you feel me?
Yeah.
So I know that when you're pushing a lot of issues that are like contradictory to what machismo or translate as success or a necessary action, people are gonna look down for you on it. You know what I'm saying? People, especially in our community, like for some reason, dog, we glorify stupidity. If you sound smart or you try to sound smart, people around you will be like, "Este way."
All right.
He thinks he's somebody. Like, what the fuck?
George Lopez, muy chingón.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like when you got somebody, right, an individual that comes from a certain lifestyle, and they're sharing intelligence and intellect, you look at it different.
Because you said that through generations, you know, our uncles or tios, that they were scared.
Yeah, they were scared to talk like that.
To talk like
that. Yeah, because they were looked at as whitewashed.
Right.
Or they were looked at as somebody that was arrogant. And, oh, ya te crees mejor que nosotros, güey. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, nah, like I have uncles now that owned businesses and all that shit, never shared the game with me. Because I don't know why. I can only think that they felt like they were less of a man for sounding intelligent.
No shit.
And to me, like, yeah, because what they would share with me is fighting. They would show me they could fight because they would get drunk and fuck each other up in my backyard. Or they would fight a stranger that came and was looking at the tia the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all we showed each other was hands. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't tolerate no bullshit. We're getting down. We ain't talking about none.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, like that carried on to knowledge and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? When they found it and they captured it, they were too intimidated and they were insecure. You know what I mean? To hand it down. Because all they saw when they were going to these places of opportunity was other races, white men, Asians, you know what I'm saying? And all that. So they didn't see their type, so they thought like, damn, I'm a guest here.
You know what's crazy is like my mom, for example, she in her workplace at that time in 70s, they weren't, even in the early 80s, they weren't allowed to speak Spanish. You know, and they frowned on us. Like, you better learn how to speak English. So a lot of times I struggle with Spanish as well because it wasn't taught to me that way, spoken to me. Yeah, you know, and it was because she was told not to speak at the workplace. But then, like towards her latter part of her work career, it started switching. They wanted her to because now here they were getting accounts in Chile. They were getting accounts in different, you know, Latino countries. To where they needed her. They
need that.
So then everything just took a.
Well, when
360,
we were kids, we were like, I remember when I was a kid, like we were beating up the little paisitas, eh? Like it was something about like they weren't cool enough. So we were fighting with them, and I spoke English and Spanish. So the homies made fun of me because I spoke English and Spanish. I was the only Salvadoran dude, cut with Salvadoran in my hood, and it was like an issue.
Yeah.
You know?
You ain't Mexican.
I was like, oh, this flame for me. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like my dad had the pork chops, you know? This is the big sideburns. And, and he's Mexican. But in my hood, it was like the Salvadorian Elvis. You know? And I was like, what the fuck you mean? Bitch, my dad's from Durango, you stupid fuck.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
But it was clowning. You know what I'm saying?
Because you don't look like them.
Yeah, so we you know, we have that prejudice towards each other, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that we gotta make goofy. You know what I mean? We got to turn that into a goofy behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't highlight that shit no more.
I used to get clowned all the time back in those days. And it goes back to George Lopez. You know that whole mas like, you're doing this. Oh, it's like, nah, bro. I'm just living life. This is the way I'm doing it. You know, there's always a work hard, but you know this way is going to show me an easier way to do something. I'm going to do it. Don't. Because I got a phone or I pulled it out in public. Oh, my, you think you're all the shit. Yeah, you know,
no
it's that mentality you're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's just like, come on, man. At the end of the day, bro.
But it's 2023, dog, and we out here shining.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
We got Bozo in the motherfucking house, homie.
Talk to him, man. Talk to him.
We're chilling here, man. We were like an hour and some deep, bro. I want to get into your music, brother. I got a chance to sit with the Hunger Games 3, the Declaration of Independence. I love the Independence.
Yes, sir.
That's dope. You came up with that yourself, obviously. Yes, and this is 3. There's a 2.
There's a 1,
and there's a 1 as well.
Yeah.
And you've worked with so many artists. I mean, this cat was like putting me literally. Moons was putting me up on game on as far as your music.
All the collabs you done, fucking bangers, bro.
Yeah, all independent. Me and Steve from Fan First. I got out from prison doing 10 years. He got out from prison doing 10 years, and he had the corporate mind, and he was like, "Look, I want to invest in somebody that comes from it like me." You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be the typical label owner or independent label that just is looking for that young kid that's fucking going viral. Like I want to start it organically. You know what I'm saying? Like I want us to have a voice.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I want to do it right. So then I linked up with Doe Man from Peep CNT, and he had all the connections because he's worked with all the known artists in LA, black, you know?
Right.
He's helped manage OT Genesis, you know, he was with Nipsey when Nipsey first started, like Joe Moses. Yeah, he's tapped in with all them. So you know, God was good to me, man, and put those 2 men in my vicinity when I first came home from prison.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we had Steve with the label, we had Dope Man, and then we had me, and then together we just started reaching out to all the artists that were popping, which is like 4 summers ago, you know?
Yeah.
G Perico, Compton AD, Joe Moses, RJ, like we just started working, you feel what I'm saying? So and at the time, it's crazy because in the YouTube comments, I was frowned upon for working with Bloods and Crips.
I was about to say, I mean, what was the
time
feedback,
that Rasa was like, backlash. "Oh, you on their dick, you're on their like," well, but me though, to me that's
you're
like,
hip-hop.
Man, you sucker, man. You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Right.
Like, these let me tell you something. Even the homie, he's a boxer, right? Like, you're gonna tell me that the homie's not gonna train under Muhammad Ali because he's black?
Right.
Are you stupid as fuck? Like, what the fuck? You're not gonna soak up game from Mayweather because he's a Moreno? Are you stupid, dog?
Right.
Like, what does that have to do with greatness, fool?
Has nothing to do.
Nothing to do with greatness
at all.
Exactly. So, you know, I've been fortunate. Like, even with Rasa, you know, I've worked with King Lil G.
Yeah.
I work with Capone. I work with Criminal, like Conejo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been very blessed as far as the individuals that have come my way. But I want to share that too, even though I'm not as big as these dudes.
Right.
But I feel like my validity is bigger than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like my history and the shit that I've done out here independently on my own. You know what I'm saying? I never broke it down to no label, never broke it down to no trend.
Would you okay, because one question always comes to mind, and I've seen this in a lot of the comments. Let me ask you this: would you work with the Loonies?
Yeah, why not?
Would you work with Too Short?
Yeah.
All right. Would you work with E40?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you work with a Mexican Northerner?
No.
Okay. Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. All right. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, because that's exploitation. Like, okay, so we beef, right?
Right.
So to do a song would be like unity. That's not unity on a song. Like let's go feed the homeless together. Let's put together a bag, a foundation for somebody. Like, I want to work on something that's really gonna save lives.
Right.
I don't want to work on something that's gonna boost my ego up.
Just for the numbers.
I don't need that, dog.
Yeah.
What the fuck I look like fake handshakes and fake love.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who we feeding? Who we employing? What are we doing? What are we building besides a fucking track?
Right.
That to me is fake love. Like, if we come together and save lives or help people out, then we can talk about making music together.
So let's get unity in the streets.
Let's get validity. Let's get validity behind the piece.
I bring it up because obviously it's in the comments and people want to know, our viewers.
Yeah, but people need to understand the layers of what we're doing.
Right.
Like, people need to be realistic. What is that going to change me a song with a northerner, dog, on the streets?
Yeah.
Not a motherfucking thing. Lil homie's going to still be out there with burners catching bodies.
I get what you're saying.
You understand? And the homies are still whacking each other. So what was the point?
Yeah.
Except for me fucking looking.
First, you need to change what's going on in our community.
We need to show real peace.
I get you.
Because then there's validity to unity and the reason why we're doing what we're doing.
Okay. Bozo, there. He said it right there, man. Answer your questions, bro. Because I go up, man, bro, here's the thing. And I don't want to get near politics. I don't want to be politics. None of that. That's me. I'm hip hop first. That is what it is. I work with my people. I never seen an issue of us going up north and performing, and we've always been welcomed, you know. Yeah, fools have thrown shit at us here or there, you know what I'm saying, representing, letting us know. My mentality was like, dude, you fucking around, there's all these bitches in this club and you want to fucking gangbang on us, bro, come on, let's chill. But for the most part, we got respect out there because we weren't about that we never put on, as you mentioned earlier. It was mainstream radio. We were a household name. So I always wondered, you know what I'm saying?
And it's no beef, dog, with them. People misconstrue what I'm saying. Like, they translate it how they want. I'm just being realistic. Right. I just want to I want a legacy, dog. I don't want hype. You know, I want to do something real with texture. Like, I want to, like, if I was to do anything, like, I want to mentor like a young northerner that hasn't fucking gone to prison yet or fucked off his life. Right. You understand what I'm saying?
There you go.
Like, fuck a song. Like, what's that song gonna do? Like, come on, dog. We're just having a pissing contest on that song. You know what I mean? Like, to me, like, fuck that. Let's go feed some homeless up north.
It was kind of like, would you say, like Bloods and Crips when they had that whole unity?
It is most definitely. Music? Yeah, but what did they do? They just turned up the streets to do more murders. See what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like, if us coming together on the track is just gonna kill more brown people, what the fuck what was the point, bro?
I see what
like,
you're saying.
I don't see no
it's
virtue
the agenda.
in
that. It's there. Yeah, I get it.
It's like when Nipsey and YG would work together, huh? There'd always be drama at the shoots and
there would always be drama. That's what I'm saying. And I'm just being realistic, you know. I mean, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
You remember the peace treaties back in the 90s? With, I think Cam had rapped about it. Yeah. I mean, I thought they came together at one point, didn't they?
It was fake, man. Them fools were catching bodies still behind the scenes, you know? There's never been real peace. Like, even I hear a lot of podcasters talking about, there's peace between North and South. No, there's not.
Right.
The fuck you talking about?
Yeah, I did hear that recently. Yeah.
It's fake, dog. It's not true.
Shit, man.
You know what I'm saying? And look, you gotta learn to learn to respect the laws of the land. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And from gangster to gangster, it's like, dog, dudes on the streets, the fools that are really outside don't give a fuck about rap music. They're trying to look for the next meal to feed their family.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're trying to survive the next day on that block. You know what I mean? They're trying to dodge the enemies. Like,
are they still trying to get stripes?
Well, most definitely, because stripes is important on the streets. You know what I'm saying? It gives you the platinum card. You know what I'm saying? It opens bigger doors for you because the glorification of an alpha male is still important in the streets.
So homies are still out there trying to get those, get that name out there.
Yeah, that's because that's all they know.
Because I know how active it was more in the 90s, but
that's all they know. That's all they still know. Like, they see rappers like myself still flexing,
right?
So they want that. You know what I mean? They want to be able to talk about bodies and fools know that they really saying it. You know what I'm saying? It's just life in the animal kingdom, dog. You know what I'm saying?
You said in one of you said your music today still raps about violence, sex, whatever. But yet, you know, I think there was a response you had to, a reason for that.
So, because I can't give you one without the other.
That's what it was.
I can't tell you how I won without telling you what I seen.
That's what it was.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you say you listen to Hunger Games 3. Like, if you play the album, it's a story. First, I'm popping off. You know what I'm saying?
Anniversary's my shit, by the way.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And so is Dreams. But go on.
And then I'm popping off.
Yeah.
And then I'm talking about trials and tribulations, how it hurt me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I'm talking about my life, how I used to sit on the bus stop. Now I'm swapping Benzes with the homies.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And then it goes.
You're telling your story.
Then it goes to anniversary and you know, like how love came into, you know what I'm saying? How it's important to be a man.
And chronologically, that
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's dope.
So I can't give you one without the other the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important. That's part of the. There is no one without the other. Bottom line, when it comes to me and my life and what I've achieved. You know what I'm saying?
How often do you put out an album? Because I know you just did like end of last year, didn't you?
Yeah, I dropped 8 projects last year, and I'm on 2 projects this year, and I'm gonna drop another project. I'm working on 2 projects right now: Hunger Games 4, Mr. Blue Rag, and then I'm working on a all vinyl to vinyl album with VHS. So nothing digital. We're doing it old school. Yeah,
that's dope.
We're going straight vinyl to vinyl. Yeah, so I'm working on that, and then I'm gonna keep working.
Are you signing any artists?
The money's coming in. Nah, I can't. Look, dog. I can't sign nobody, man. My work ethic is too spontaneous. Like I don't really have a schedule because I have 4 kids.
Okay.
And I have 4 puppies, and I have a wife. You know what I'm saying? And I have the hood that still like looks for me, and I have young men that I mentor in my skill trade. You know?
Yeah.
So with all that being said,
you probably
it's like,
get flooded in DMs. Like,
yeah, I do
dog,
every day. So with that being said, it's like, you know, if I get 2 hours, I already have my studio around the corner where I go record. And hey, fool, I'm gonna pull up.
Right.
I'm fast. I already know what I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm fast. So my schedule's just so fucking spontaneous, dog. But I'm always working, you know?
You think at the end of the day, well, you probably know at the end of the day, your family's first, obviously. But
hell yeah.
That obviously takes, because I'm a family man as well. That shit takes like, at least it could be 3 hours out the day, it could be a whole day. Kid gets sick, you're there. You ain't fucking around with work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're there with wifey, whatever. So you think that alone would take up your time out of day? Because if you weren't, let's put it this way, dog. If you were single and you didn't have them kids, you probably would be signing artists. Maybe.
Shit. No, I'm gonna tell you why I don't sign artists. Okay, because currently in the time that we're in, all these youngsters have a false reality. You know, everybody thinks like they're the hardest rapper ever, and all they need to do is drop a song in a visual and they're going viral. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
They see other young artists blowing up and getting bags that aren't even really their bags. Me and you both know, like, a lot of that jewelry and shit's rented and whatever.
Right.
It's a false, but the kids watching it are believing it. So when you don't make that real to them, they grow animosity towards you. And they're like, they just find ways to blame you because they haven't gone through the work yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't know the real blueprint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they don't know what it takes. And I tell artists, like, look, man, you're better off doing it yourself. Because that's the only way. Like, can I shoot you my resources? Hell yeah. Can I share my platform with you? Hell yeah.
But I did it myself. You could do it yourself.
But I'm not gonna pay for your studio time. I'm not gonna pay for your beats. I'm not gonna direct your visuals. I'm not gonna tell you how to dress.
So a distribution deal would be out the window then with you then.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Right.
Just because
that's good to know.
Because I want them to see what I see. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I want them to get the nitty gritty of it. And if after that they want to do something, then we could do it. Yeah. Because now they know what it takes, and now they'll appreciate what I'm doing.
Yeah, I feel like rappers will work harder for it too, dog, when they're investing their own money.
Most definitely.
Doing everything versus
dog,
someone paying for all their shit, you know?
I work hard, my boy. Everything I got is I paid for it.
Right now you're independent?
Yeah, I'm independent. Yeah. I've been for a few years now. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the way to do it, bro.
It's the way to. I mean, look at, dog. I mean, you see how I pull up?
Yeah.
I mean,
homie pull up in the Porsche Panamera.
I'm winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm winning, and I don't have a label. I'm doing it on my own, but because I fund my own shit, so therefore I reap 100% of everything that I own. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting opportunities with that because it's showing you the new course of handling business as an independent artist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important. Like to hold the homie's hands. We're not in that position yet. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of doing stuff by yourself, I didn't see any features on here. Maybe one on this new.
Just a hook. That was it. I just got a hook feature.
But you've worked with a lot of artists, though. Was that a purposely like done?
Yeah. I didn't like on this album. I just wanted to be on my own shit. I didn't want to had to cater to anybody, and take them into consideration.
That's good though, fool. Because I feel like a lot of people, everyone does features. Like they can't do a whole song by themselves anymore. They have to have someone on there,
Dog, I do everything from my artwork on my cover to fucking the beats I pick, to the producer I work with, to the way the songs are laid out. Ernie G does all the mix mastering. He guides me in the studio when he thinks like I'm too anxious.
So Ernie didn't produce his album, he just mixed it?
He mixed mastered it, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So he executive produced it, right? That's what you call it, right?
Yeah.
Executive produced it, yeah. My producers are Project Made from the 818.
Yeah, let's give him some love.
I fuck with some dude Ray from the United Kingdom. I fuck with Contraband, which did the anniversary.
Yeah.
He did it to where it would get cleared. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think a lot of artists go overseas to get beats? Because I noticed that.
Them fools are dope.
Dog.
Them fools are dope.
It's different.
I noticed
too,
that. Every rapper has been there and said, yeah, I get my shit from France.
They're dope. Well, they're
like,
still hungry.
Yeah,
They're still hungry.
Everyone here fucks with the same people, dog, so y'all get the same sound too, you know?
Most definitely. I don't know. My album to me sounds just different.
Is it cheaper going overseas?
Nah, fuck no. I mean, them euros add up. You know what I'm saying?
Euros cost more, huh?
Yeah, them euros add up. So.
Yeah. I mean,
and not only that, fool, like they see you shining.
I'm trying to get the deal, but no, quality is everything, though.
They see you shining, and you gotta understand, like as you elevate, so does your ticket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
People start saying, "Oh, BOZO win now. Let's do this." You know what I'm saying? So,
what's up with the shows? You ever do shows?
I do a gang of shows. I did a gang of shows last year. I'm about to do it. I just got booked for a show May 29th. In La Santa,
just
recently,
Orange County, yeah.
So I'm gonna be doing a gang of shows. I did a gang of shows last year. I toured with King Lil Gian with Prayers last year.
What's your show like?
Shit, it's blue collar, you know, hustlers out there, you know, grown men, a lot of testosterone in the room, you know what I'm saying?
Your show's on stage, or how many you bring on stage?
Oh, you mean how many people are bringing on stage?
What's your stage
I'm by myself.
like?
I'm by myself.
Okay,
I'm by myself.
You and a DJ?
Yeah, me and my DJ. Yeah.
Okay.
Jay Silva. Yeah, I have a way of you know, because I'm on the Hunger Games theme. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know, we like to deliver that visual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of that. You know, we're not where we want to be yet. You know what I'm saying? That there's a hunger for more still. You know what I'm saying? When we're performing. You know?
I heard you break down that analogy of the Hunger Games thing, where it was what was it, District 12? Was it?
Yeah,
they were like the hood or some shit like that. That shit was dope.
Yeah, the hood, and it's true. Look at what just happened. Like we just had one of the biggest banks crash. Now think about how that's going to affect us. Look at the railroads that just derailed because they're trying to cut costs. You know what I mean? They're putting too many fucking boxes on them trains.
I'm still complaining about the potholes I'm hitting every other fucking day.
That's what I'm saying.
Rain, dog. Come fix my shit. I know my tax money's going somewhere.
California wants you to buy electric cars, but they don't want to fix the roads.
Right.
You stupid as shit.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's
and I heard this shit, they want to shut you down. That's just one way they could shut, like, you got to charge it somehow.
Yeah.
They shut your electricity out, you ain't going nowhere.
Exactly, because California, like, produces so much renewable energy, we got to pay other states to take it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm cool with gas, homie.
Shit.
I'm cool with gas. Nothing like a gas-fueled vehicle, bro.
Shit, I hear you.
My diesel, love my shit. I ain't driving no Porsche. I got my diesel, though.
I feel you.
I'm pushing them.
I've had them
trailers.
shits, though. Nah, I
feel like a king on the road on that. Like, if you hit me, it's cool. You gonna bounce off me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a little different, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when you would think you see me, you'd be like, oh, that fool has a low. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I have a euro, you know what I'm saying? When you see me like outside, oh, this food eats tacos. Fuck no, I'm at Chris.
Fools think,
Chris, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear Porsche, I hear speed, bro. Like you one of them.
Exactly. No, it's not even that. I just like to be fly, dog.
Yeah.
I just like to paint a different picture for the little homies.
Elegance,
yeah, class. You know what I'm saying? Like we've done the hood shit.
Yeah.
We already we got the gangster shit sold up.
Yeah.
You know? Like let's become fucking. Let's become businessmen. You feel what I'm saying? Like let's own some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Let's own some shit. Let's create some shit. You know?
I love your energy, Bozo, man. I'm so thankful that you came down here today,
man,
brother, and come blessed us, man.
Yeah.
Hunger Games 3, Declaration of Independence. Go check that out. Go check out the whole catalog.
Yes,
if Bozo gave you anything, I'm happy, man, because he definitely he always drops gems everywhere he goes and jewels. And keep doing your thing, brother. I mean, you've had an interesting life, and it's just amazing to see how you came out of it and grown out of it, man. And you're a success story, brother. And the fact that you're pushing it on to the youth, bro.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing.
Thank you, mandatory. Yeah. Shit, Fam First, Peep CNT, Proper Dose, Lazy Buds LA. Shit, so many people, you know, that just are there to support me. You know what I'm saying? And held me out and guided me the right way, you know what I mean? And kept me in line.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because, you know, I still got that thug in me, you feel me?
Right.
But, you know, I like money more now, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I got a taste of it, I'm hooked, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
right.
You know what I mean? That shit came and it's like, I ain't letting that bitch go. You know what I mean?
I see out there slinging them dogs too.
Hell yeah, luxury dogs, luxury pit bull.
Hey, what you don't know is that Bozo, we were supposed to do this interview last week, but there's some shit happened with his dogs.
Yeah.
He could tell you if he wants to.
No, so I breed, I flew in a dog from Mississippi, right? It's a beautiful dog. Like I spent a bag on that bitch, right? So the animal still has its instincts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So she had a litter, and
what kind of dog is it? Breed?
It's a double XL bully.
Okay, gotcha.
So I just weighed her yesterday. We're at the
double
vet.
XL.
She weighs 97 pounds right now, right? So long story short, she had a litter. My stud weighs 155 pounds. So she's doing her shit, and we have this, it's the hood where I live at still. I haven't moved out the hood. So there was this 3-leg little Chihuahua fool that used to hit my block. Like, he was that dude, he was,
running around.
he was Ezekiel on the block.
With 3 legs,
3 legs,
he was 3 little motion around the block.
So my girl has a Shih Tzu. My girl has a Shih Tzu in the past.
Yeah.
A little cute little Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
Coco. Shout out Coco. So that 3-leg motherfucker had his eye on Coco. So he would come to my pad for every morning and bark for her. Arr, arr.
Yeah.
So we could bring her out, to let her pee and then go off with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we caught wind of this shit, and I'd be like, why the fuck is that dog barking at our house? And my girl was like, that fool wants to pipe Coco. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that motherfucker has 3 legs. Like, I don't know. She's like, that's what he's here for. But what the Chihuahua didn't realize was that my pit had the litter in the garage. So as a mother, her instinct was like, oh, that fool's barking at my puppies. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So the fool got away that day and left about his life and all that shit. But my bully didn't forget. Like, she saw what house that fool walked into and everything.
Right.
Bro.
Watching.
Yeah. So I'm out doing some shit, and she gets out, bro. And she hits the block. And she walks straight to that fool's house.
And she looking for the 3-leg.
And this fool's owner had the door open, like, I want to say, like, slightly about 2 feet open. And they're watching TV. The Chihuahua's on the couch. And my fucking pit does a home invasion. Fool runs up in there, snatches the Chihuahua off the couch, drags it back to my house, and kills it on my driveway.
Fuck.
Could have left it with 2 legs. I mean, why you got?
Yeah. But then look, the cops on my, and right there where I stay at, they admire my dogs. They see me walking them. They see me playing. They see that I'm a responsible dog owner.
Yeah.
So when the shit hit the fan, the cops came and they were like, look, lady, your dog's out here in the streets all day, no owner, no nothing. This man, like, I see him walking his dogs, bathing them, like, playing with them. Like,
yeah.
You're a responsible owner. If your dog came to his pad and threatened his dogs, that's your pedo.
Right.
Know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna sign a report.
You ain't watching your dog.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like put paperwork to get this man's dog took. Like, keep your fucking dog inside. You know what I mean? So, but the city's been on me now though about like her vaccination shots and like the rabies shots. So they call me.
We let you slide, but you need to go take care of business.
You need to be on your shit. Well, because they're big dogs, bro. You know, they're massive dogs, beautiful dogs. But
and it could happen again. I mean,
it could. Yeah.
So anyway, he was gay. That's why we
that's all. I was at the vet. Yeah,
I understood. You know, prop dad here. You got to take care of business.
Hell,
your animals are like your kids, man.
Hell
so to speak. But thanks again, brother, for coming through, man. Maybe make sure you guys hit up my man over here. It's at bozo .music on Instagram.
No, on Instagram it's bozo.goontalk. Okay. On YouTube, I got my own URL, so just type in Bozo. I'll pop up. Shit. What am I on? Am I on Snapchat? I'm not on. No, I'm on TikTok. TikTok Bozo1. Twitter Bozo Bam1 also. Yeah, and digitally, like, I'm everywhere. Just pop it up. You know, I'll pop up.
There it is, brother. All right, make sure you guys share the podcast at the Blackout Podcast everywhere, and give this a fat like. Comments are always welcome as well. Anything else, Moons?
Yeah, make sure you subscribe. We're on the way to 10K. We're growing pretty fast, growing hella fast actually. Make sure you subscribe.
Oh, Bozo will get us there. Bozo will get us to 10K.
Let's get it. Let's go.
All right, peace, y'all.
We out.